Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jonathan Pack, and this is Tailor Made Tuesday for the Bridge. Every Tuesday in December, we have chosen to do it virtual just so that we can make sure families have their time to join together, all of that. And so I'm looking forward to a great holiday season. And so let me greet each and every one of you in the name that's above every name. And of course, at that name, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that He is Lord, and beside Him there is no other. And so, again, welcome to the Bridge. It's Tailor Made Tuesday. We got something special tonight. We've been talking about the games that people play, and I believe we talked about spades the first week, and then we talked about Uno the second week, and now we're going into Monopoly and finding revelation out of regular games. And I'm big on creative preaching, so I think that if you can't find revelation out of anything, you really can't find it in anything. And so we're going to make it work tonight. But I wanted to jump on before they begin and thank everybody. Today we released Sonship Reloaded, and we put out two questionnaires. That's a questionnaire for sons and daughters. Then that's a questionnaire for spiritual parents, and I'm just overwhelmed by the response that we've received. And listen, I'm not on to ask for support because it's really not that kind of show. I'm really on just to say, you know what, I want you to take that test prior to going to the new year, whether you're a spiritual son or daughter or a spiritual father and mother. I want you to download that and take that test to be able to examine yourself, because I think that that's essential to our growth and our development as we go into the new year. Now, people have asked questions, if you're not a son or daughter, can you download the other test? I said absolutely, because that other test kind of helps you to see what that spiritual parent is doing, to be able to guide you and help gauge you, gauge your growth and development. So I'm excited about all of that. So when God challenges us to do a thing, we know warfare is always attached to it, but when God is behind it, we always win. So again, thank you so much, Bridge, Jordan, and all of our partners that are around the world for helping us in this particular effort. And let me say tonight, I really sense when I was praying, and I've been trying to let the staff kind of go on, but every now and again, I just interrupt stuff, and it just is what it is. But I really sensed prophetically that things are really lining up. And I don't know if you can really sense that, but the Lord says, tell them if it's falling apart, or if it feels like it's falling apart, it's really falling into place. And so you've got to be able to accept that things are lining up. I dare about 5 people to just type that in the comments already. Things are lining up for me. You got to be able to sense that. I mean, in not just one area, but in every area, things are lining up. God is putting things together. He's putting the pieces together. He's putting the energies together. He's putting the people together. Things are lining up for me. And before we even begin, of course, they're going to make sure they pray and do all of that. But when God interrupts us, I just want to obey God. And listen, tonight, as they're teaching, you don't even have to wait. I want you to put an $11 seed in the ground. I want you to start that early, just an $11 seed, put it in the ground and just declare things are lining up for me. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. God is changing schedules for us. God is moving people out of the way. God is tearing some down, bringing some up. God is changing prices. God is changing protocols. I'm telling you, you've got to declare that things are lining up for me, and I will not be silent about it. I'm going to brag on the goodness of God and declare, as Psalm 34:3 said, as my beautiful daughter read Sunday, oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together. Why? Because things are lining up for me. He is keeping his word sure. Again, everyone who watches and enjoys tonight, put that $11 seed in the ground. You don't have to wait till the end. I want you to grab that word and just declare things are lining up for me. Those people that are around you, this is not the season of these gloom and doom stories. You got to tell them that might be your confession, but my confession is things are lining up for me. And when that moment occurs, I normally sow an $11 seed, $111 seed, or whatever. I wasn't felt led to say that 111, but that $11 seed, that's a small seed tonight, just to come into agreement with the rhythm of God that things are lining up for you. And again, Sonship Reloaded is out. So thank you so much for making that investment. $4.11, cheaper than a cup of coffee some places. But thank you so much for not letting me be by myself. And the world is caught up and they're embracing it. And I want to make sure that the bridge is leading in that fashion. And then we're going to continue talking about it this week so that you can participate in engagement. And then, God's going to get the glory. And so at the end of the day, one more time, things are lining up for me. Thank you so much for letting me interrupt the regular scheduled programming. And then we're going to bring Lady Cooper on, who is leading these particular efforts. Her and her team are going to talk about Monopoly tonight. So let's go.
Lord, I told my team to make sure they were unmuted, and then I'm on here unmuted. Again, Pastor came on here talking about things are lining up. He almost got us going again like he did on Sunday. But say ye, Bridge, Sunday, he almost, oh my goodness, just one more, just one more. Man, and Sunday was so, so good. Thank you so much for joining us again for Tailor Made Tuesday. And this month we are talking about games people play. And our team tonight is going to be talking about Monopoly. A lot of people, some of the younger kids may not know about Monopoly, may not have experienced Monopoly. So we're going to share a little bit about that with them. So come on, we're going to bring on Brother Courtney Green. Come on the screen. There he is, the maestro himself. Hey. We're going to bring on Elder Nicole Masters Henry. Come on, Nicole. There she is. Look at her, cutie pie. Come on. We're going to bring on none other than Elder Coach Trent Johnson. Hey, Coach.
Hey, hey,
God
hey.
is dope. You sure right about it. And our little long distance sister here, Minister Nakisha Knight, all the way from Denver, Colorado. Woo-hoo. And last but certainly not least, my baby, Lady Eler Williams. Come on, come on. Y'all are looking so good tonight. Y'all look good. We're just gonna have some. That's right. We're just gonna have some fun tonight talking about Monopoly. As Pastor said, we just want to keep it light because Sundays, God has been giving us the business on Sundays. So we almost cannot afford to go too deep on Tuesdays because He's been letting us have it. We want to thank our online audience. I see Lady Gloria, Lady Sylvia, Lady Libra, Lady Alicia, Dr. Green, Bishop Gamble. I give honor to our senior pastor, Dr. Pack, who was just on earlier, to our executive pastors, Bishop Rodney Gamble and Pastor Tina Gamble, and to our assistant pastors, Dr. Mary Green and Prophet Kendall Thomas. I give honor to you all. So we're just going to jump right on in it. We're going to talk a little bit about Monopoly. And for some of y'all that don't know, hey, Cassandra, some of y'all that don't know, Monopoly is a real estate board game. If you go to the store, you're going to see this little box kind of like this, Monopoly. You're going to see the little banker man and all that on there. You have pieces. You have a dog, a cat, a thimble, a car, a hat, all kind of little pieces. You can be either one of those. And Monopoly is a real estate board game. And the object of the game is to monopolize the real estate. You want to try to buy up the properties. You want to try to make other people go bankrupt. It's a ruthless little game. It can get real intense because you can play it for hours and hours and hours. You can play for hours. Okay. But Come back, come back. Okay. What was I? Okay, so you try to force your opponents to go into bankruptcy and to have to sell their properties and all that kind of stuff. And so that's basically what it's about. But the funny part is that Monopoly didn't start out as Monopoly. It was called the Landlord's Game. And the lady who created the Landlord's Game, her name was Lizzie. Uh, and she created it in 1904, and it was more so as a dig at the way that landlords were treating their tenants, and the game was symbolizing that. And so it started out as a dig, but somebody else got a hold of it. Parker Brothers bought it, and now it's sold millions and millions and millions of copies all over the land. So we just want to talk about, I talked to them yesterday. I was like, what did y'all get out of Monopoly? I know what some things I got out of it. And we just want to share what we came up with as far as Monopoly is concerned. So the first thing we said was that the game must be played with others. Look, Monopoly, you can be the dog and the cat and play by yourself and throw the dice, and this time I'm throwing as the dog, this time I'm throwing as the cat. Oh, I'm about this. But what fun would that be? You're gonna play that for maybe 15 minutes and be done, because it's no fun playing Monopoly by yourself. And so I know when I was young, I couldn't wait to get outside and play with my friends. I don't know about y'all, but back in the day, the big thing for us was, oh, come on, we can go outside now. We can finish our chores and we can go outside. Let's meet up in the park. Let's play kickball. Let's play basketball. Let's jump rope. Let's, ride bikes, play Barbies, play hide and seek, or whatever y'all play, I couldn't wait to get out and play with my friends. I didn't like when it rained and I had to stay in the house and play by myself. I mean, you have one Barbie doll in one hand, one Barbie doll in the other hand. After a while, that just got so boring. It was so boring. And so I always liked having somebody there and having somebody to play with. But as I got older and life, divorce, single parent, and if y'all unmute yourselves and talk back to me. And I learned how to be alone. I learned how to be by myself. I learned how to be a soloist in my life. And I learned to enjoy it. I learned to enjoy it. But I think I learned to enjoy it too much, because then I didn't want to be bothering nobody. I liked being in the seclusion of my own house. I didn't want to go out nowhere. I didn't want to do nothing. Just come to my house where it's peaceful, it's quiet. But I realized something. When I started my business, I originally had a partner. And because I was so used to being a soloist, that didn't work out. And that's one of the regrets that I think I might have in life, is that didn't work out. But in this last season, he's bringing me out of that and getting me back to a place that I realize that I need others in life. Others in life to succeed. Our pastor quotes this quite often: one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. And I'm believing that more and more and more in my life. In my business, I recently bought on someone that's on this live, and she's been doing an amazing job. Lady Ela Williams has her own business that was showcased on Sunday, and she has taken a load off of me. And if I continue to operate as a soloist, I never would have had the pleasure of having her working with me and me feeling relief. Just having friends that are like-minded, friends that you can hang out with and laugh. I can go to the show by myself. I can go eat by myself. And sometimes I like that, but I enjoy it more. Lady Nicole and I and another sister, we call ourselves the Merry Millionaires, and we get together, we laugh. But wait, don't go to the movies with Nicole, y'all. Ask me why.
Go ahead.
Nicole talks all through the movie. Nicole will be talking And they'd be like, girl, be quiet and just watch the movie. I mean, if y'all just want to go enjoy the movie, don't go see it first and then go back and see it with her. Cause she gonna talk and ask questions and oh God, it's too much. But
I
I
think we all have family
enjoy
members like that.
the company. I enjoy it. So I'm learning that I need others. There's a certain fulfillment that comes from me being around other people, especially those that I love, that we have things in common. And so while you could attempt to play Monopoly by yourself, it probably wouldn't be much fun. And the same thing goes for life. You could be a hermit and stay in the house, just go to work, come home or whatever, but there's no fun. You miss out on the joy and the love and the enjoyment, the peace, the relief that the right circle can bring you. I mean, does that make sense? Anybody agree?
I absolutely agree. I believe we're meant to live in community. We're not meant to live alone. And again,
Absolutely.
there are times when we have to be isolated. And for people like myself, I'm an introvert. So at the end of the day, I like to come home and to be alone and be quiet. But we are meant to live in community with other people, to fellowship, to learn, to love. That's just how we're made. That's just part of our human nature. So we can't go through this game of life alone. We have to be connected to other people in some way.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to add something too. As a single person for a long, long time, and I was in that relationship, and bad relationships kind of make you not want to start another relationship, and you learn how to do everything by yourself. Like the attitude, I don't need anybody. I got it. No, it's okay. You ain't had to help me because I developed a trust issue. So what I was learning is Monopoly on the rules, you have to have at least two players. So that means the game was never intended to be played by yourself. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's what I learned about Monopoly. So that means I need you to play this game. That means you need somebody. I need some. It's easier when you have somebody to help you instead of taking all the burden, strategies, whatever it may be. I need you. It's easier. I can enjoy the relationship. I can have fun. I can learn from you, but I need you. I need somebody to help me in this game.
Absolutely. Because who was that? Hezekiah Walker who had that song? I need you to, was that Hezekiah Walker? I need you to survive. And I used to think that song was just, no, you don't, but you really do. You really do. And so, I mean, don't let me do all the talking either. I mean, share with us what you told us about what the life lesson you learned with Monopoly.
Well, in Monopoly, we learned that it doesn't matter in the game where you start. No matter where you start, we all start in the beginning, but you have to go around the board, and depending on the dice roll, whatever number you get, that's how many spaces you move. And no matter where we start, we don't all roll the same. And I've learned that one thing that kind of stood out to me in the game were these cards. We deal a lot of times with the property and the money with Monopoly, but there's these cards called Community Chest and these cards called Chance.
Yeah.
And you could be balling out of control in Monopoly and then hit a chance card and lose your wealth. Or you could be broke as a joke, get a community chest card or a chance card, and then your wealth will go up.
Yeah.
You got to take that chance. And I think a lot of times in life, we don't get anywhere because we're scared to take chances, or because my first trip around the board wasn't a positive one. We're leery about going around again, but you never know where you're gonna land. But you have to be willing to take steps and take that chance.
That's so, because with Monopoly, everybody starts out at the same place. Everybody has $1,500 to start with. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you. A lot of times, we try to hold our little money, and now I'm gonna wait until I land, because it has these different streets, is what the game has. And Baltic is like the least expensive street, but then is it Broadway that's like the most
Baltimore.
expensive street? Yeah, they're real expensive, and you try to wait to get the most expensive because then you can collect the most rent. But sometimes, it's the smaller things, and again, it doesn't matter where we start, because we all start off with the $1,500.
Right.
But it's what we do with it, and even in the Bible, talking about the talents. What you gonna do with it? We all start off, even in life, with the same opportunities. Now, our environment or something may be different, but we all start off with the same opportunities. I mean, anybody else? Anybody else?
First of all, I want to be the car. I want you to give me the car.
I got the car. I got the car already.
Let me have the Rolls Royce to start
I'm
off
the
with.
money bag.
So let me get the Rolls Royce to roll around the town with. Absolutely. But no, I was thinking about that. And as a kid playing that game, true enough, you can, when you was talking about how being by yourself is fine. But it said, so my old pastor used to say, we're better together. We're better together. So you're fine by yourself. You're great by yourself. But with two, you can do some things. You can do some big things. There's more you can do. Just like the scripture when it talks about the devil, when he said, well, one can chase 10,000, two can chase more. I mean, you're gonna do more. So it's greater numbers. The greater it is. Just thinking about moving with the Monopoly game of Monopoly. When you start, like you said, everybody has a starting point. We start life, and as we go through life, we have those chances that we take. We have those opportunities that we try to make. Now, whether you take them or not, that's the question.
Yeah.
Whether you take them or not, whether you choose to take that or not, it's your mindset when it comes down to that point. It's your mindset of how you want to handle this. Do I do this or do I not? That's when we come listening to the voice of God in our choices, in our choices that we make, and in everyday living. Period. We're playing Monopoly every day. When you think about it, you play Monopoly every day, because every day you have either a chance. Either I'm gonna make this move, I'm gonna make this move. So you have that, you playing it every day. So it's definitely a daily game, actually. I mean, if you want to look at it that way. So
It's not where you start. Yeah, everybody starts out somewhere different, but
right.
the key thing is where you finish at. So it's like you started there, but I'm looking at how I finished. So Joshua in the Bible started out, with his brothers. Badly poor, but look how he finished. So went to so yeah, we all have different places in life. We're all at a different places in our lives, but at the end of the goal is, and it's not even, you don't even compare where everybody else finish or start. You, for yourself, goals and how I succeed and where I'm at in Monopoly might be different from yours and what you're doing. So I can't look at everybody else. Me, this is how I want you to play the game. This is where I'm starting you. And so this is where you're going to finish. So just because I'm not finishing where you're at doesn't mean that I didn't win. It doesn't mean that I lose. It's just we just started different places, but we all end up in our same, in our same intended places, the finish spot, the goal.
And then also Ecclesiastes 9:11, Ecclesiastes said it like this. I'm kind of urbanized a little bit, but it's the race is not to the fastest one. The battle's not to the strongest one. Neither, what does it say? Oh, neither does food come to the wise, or wealth come just because you're brilliant.
Right.
But it says time and chance happens to us all.
Chance.
Absolutely. But and another thing with that, because your time and chance comes with all. Some of y'all might not consider yourselves as strategists, but we all are strategists in life, in games. I know another game, spades, that we talked about the first week. That's my game. You get to flipping tables and stuff, and talking smack with spades. And I know dominoes is some other people's game. I can't play with the real domino players. I know how to play.
Me
I know
neither. I got to
just
borrow fingers.
yeah, but they just get mad at me because I just put down, I'll be slapping it down, and they look like, "No, you didn't do this." But even with Monopoly back in the day, Monopoly could get kind of. Emotions would get high.
The banker got to take the money.
Yeah, why you knew I was waiting to buy that? Why you buy my property? Oh, you don't have to double the rent. You know you can let me get by. I only got $200 left. But that's a good point, Courtney. Emotions. Monopoly will teach you how to keep your emotions in check.
They will teach you how to keep your emotions. When you're dealing with emotions, it says every time your emotions get ramped up, you gotta check it. Because I know when I play Monopoly, I'm a very competitive player. When it comes down to it, I'm very competitive. So I'm in there. I'm gonna talk trash. I'm gonna do everything. I'm in there. You got my full attention. We in there. But when you're talking about how the emotions can get riled up, I've seen people start slamming boards and start slamming boards and moving stuff out the way. Like my car was here, my car was there.
Right.
The emotions kind of run a little bit because you lost your money. You wasn't wise in what you're doing, or you took a chance you probably shouldn't have took.
Right.
And so, just like in life, we have to be mindful even when stuff don't go our way.
Right.
When we took a chance on something and it doesn't go the way we planned, again, it comes back to your mindset of the thing. Are you gonna let this take you out, or are you gonna keep going? I know some people would quit in the middle of a game. I ain't got no more money. I just lost. It's over for me. I'm just like, what? Come on, finish playing the game. You get something. Somebody let me borrow $200. Something like let me borrow $200. However you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like life. You can't quit if you have that mindset. And you have to know that even with being emotional, you have to know that I got to check it here. I can keep.
Oh man!
I was gonna say, no, I was gonna say too, to piggyback on what bro was saying. Like your emotions, you got to be careful when you make emotional decisions in the game too.
You get me?
Right.
Because
the emotions can get the best of you. So we definitely got to make sure we stay. That's why they say you got to stay prayed up in real life. That's the key is staying prayed up. So when those things come and hit you, you know how to handle them. You can handle them with a good mindset. You can handle them with a good mind and knowing that, hey, this happened, but I got to keep going. This happened, but I failed. I went down, but I got to keep going. So this is just an emotional thing. You got to control it because emotions can lead you to that disaster if you let it. It could take you out of here if you let it.
Yeah.
When somebody passes or when we lose loved ones, those things are happening. That's a game that it's over. But at the same time, how do you handle it? How do you respond to emotion? That's the thing. How do you respond to your emotions? How do you set yourself up for success instead of failure?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Coach Trent, what was you saying?
No, I was saying like when you make these decisions with your emotions not in check, in Monopoly, you got to make wealth decisions, and then people try to make rich people decisions. And there's a difference in being wealthy and being rich. And in the game, when you don't make the right decision and you make decisions out of your emotions, you just go around buying everything, and then your colors don't match, your property don't match, and that's how you end up bankrupt because you done bought all this stuff and you can't do anything with it. because you looking at the game like I just want to become rich, but that's not how you become wealthy. When you make those emotional decisions, you end up investing in things that don't serve you no purpose in the long run. And I
That's
think that
good.
happens, in our life now. We make emotional decisions. We invest in relationships, situations, business moves, financial commitments. And we just emotionally, our emotions are running so high. We start investing and putting things in the wrong place. And before you know it, your whole strategy, your whole plan is offset, which then affects our purpose in the end. So it's important that, we not making emotional decisions. We take a moment back to kind of analyze everything before we start investing in things.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
so true. Bishop Gamble said that emotions will make you lose your mind. It will make you lose your mind,
Yeah.
and you'll go back and think about, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. But emotions run high, and sometimes when your emotions get that high, you need to take a step back. You need to take a step back. Maybe it is time for you to, stop the game for a minute, or everybody take a break and get something to drink, come back, and then let's finish the game, because it can take you there. And Elder Trent, you said something. So, and what I heard was, are you saying that there's a cost to everything that you do? I mean, even if you do it emotionally or whatever you do, it sounds like you were saying, there's a price to pay. There's a cost with everything that you do.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. And even, I can remember when we was playing Monopoly, if the game didn't finish, we had the banker had to go sleep with the money. Everybody was counting their money. We was writing down, what you got, where you was at, hiding our property cards. But the thing is, when it comes to the cost, if you don't have no money, Courtney, but you land on my property, I may say you can come around free this time, but don't forget when I come your way, it's a cost, and I think that's why when you started out saying, you got to know the people that you playing with, because you got to create an allyship in this game. You got to have a friend, on the other side of the board that say, when I come around your hood now, look out for me, because when you came my way, you didn't have it. But every time you make a decision, you're going to risk something. You're going to, it's going to cost you in the end. You may not pay right now, but you're going to pay later.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a cost to everything. I mean, everything. And you may think that you sneaking. Look, okay, confession time. Now, I ain't a thief in real life, but
play.
When I'm a thief for play when I'm playing Monopoly. And if I needed some money or whatever, I always tried to be the banker, because that way, if I needed some money, I could slip $100 out or slip. But how many know that it's a cost to pay? Even when you're doing wrong, it's a cost to pay. I still wouldn't land on the property. And when I would go back, and I didn't realize it back then, but I could steal that $100 out the bank, but I was going to land on somebody's property where the rent was $100, or I would land on the go to jail, or something would happen. And so, like you said, it's a cost for everything. If you're doing right, if you're doing wrong, it's a cost to pay.
I don't know if you remember.
I'm sorry, Latrice, my child put on here now, Elder.
No, seriously, because when you choose to do
one
thing,
you
choose
to
do something else.
What'd you say, Coach?
I just said, you're truthful with that, because when you choose to do one thing, you're choosing not to do something else, and so that's where the cost ends up at. You may choose to take something now, then you chose not to be honest about something later, and eventually, your spot gonna be blown up anyway.
Absolutely. What was you gonna say, Brother Courtney?
No, I was saying, I don't know if you remember the show Martin. There was the plumber on there. It was one episode. He said it might cost you a little bit. It might cost you a lot.
It's gonna cost you.
It's gonna cost you.
It's gonna cost you. But that whole thing, it's gonna cost you something, no matter what it is. It's I mean, if you're taking a chance on something, it's gonna cost you.
It's gonna cost
you. It's gonna cost you your time. What it's gonna cost you your money. What it's gonna cost you your emotions. What it's gonna cost you to be in something that you didn't want to be in, or something that you wanted to be in. It's gonna cost you. It costs you when you take a risk of something, especially if it was for something great. Jesus went to the cross. Before he had to go to the cross, it cost.
It costs.
Oh yeah.
It costs. Everything he did cost. And he paid the price for us. So when he paid the price for us, there was more. It was. Don't, when you think about that cost, the greatest cost of
The
all,
greatest cost.
Yeah.
and it was for me and you. And so it costs. If you think it was going to cost him, why is it not going to cost us
Mm.
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, Lady Bridget posted and said, it's a decision. It's a decision. You make a decision of what you're willing to pay, what
Yeah.
you're willing to do, what you're willing to sacrifice, good, bad, indifferent. It's going to cost. And Lady
Yeah.
Gloria said, Monopoly is a game of integrity and character. And it really is. It
Yeah.
helps develop your integrity and your character.
Mhm.
You can go left like I did, or you can learn great strategies from the game of Monopoly. Lakeisha, is that your hand?
Yes, I just wanted to add. So when sometimes some of us, some people don't like to call it luck, where you just miss everything and you get all the money and you always landing on free parking and you get everything that people want. So I'm going to call that favor. But there's still a cost for favor too, because if you don't know what to do with that favor,
Come on here.
My Lord.
so that's all I'm gonna say. There's a cost to everything. You
That's a
can land
lot.
on boardwalk and you can have you don't have any money boardwalk, but now you don't know what to do with. Now you have to pay taxes. Now this boardwalk has cost you more money than what you thought. So
My
it's a
Lord.
cost for everything, even
Ooh.
favor.
Oh,
And
that's
likewise-
good.
I like that.
Favor comes with a cost. That's good
Even
to me.
favor
Woo.
comes. Somebody
Yeah.
needs to put that in the comments.
Favor comes with a
Even
cost.
favor comes with a cost. My
And
God.
Greatness.
likewise, jumping onto that, when you talk about having favor and you keep getting free parking and you got boardwalk, you got park place, you got hotels on it, people keep landing on your stuff. But there again, in those community chests and chance cards, once you land on those spots and you draw that card, there's a card that says, okay, you did this, so now you got to pay everybody
Mhm.
around the board.
Mhm.
And it's like, and sometimes we're not thinking about we're thinking about what I can get, how I'm gonna build,
Yeah.
but we don't think in the long run, just because you have it don't mean you gonna have it always. And
Right.
favor comes with a cost. You pay.
Ooh, that was good.
That's good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep going because we could
Ooh,
get
that
stuck
That's
was
right
good.
there. And this supposed to be keeping it light, but that right there.
That was it.
that was good to
That
me.
was real good.
Somebody posted, even favor comes with a cost. Say favor may not cost you, but somebody paid for it.
Somebody did.
Somebody paid for it.
Somebody did, yes.
My
Lord,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep on going. Somebody had just said something about running out of money and wanting to stop, but the only way that you will gain back what you lost, the only way that you can build and buy more properties is if you just keep on going.
keep on going.
You got to keep going on around the board, regardless. You got to.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Elder
Yeah.
Nicole
Yeah.
mentioned that yesterday when we was talking. Tell them
Yeah.
what you said.
Sometimes in the game of Monopoly, especially when you're losing, you get a little nervous. You land on go and you roll that dice and you're like, I'm praying for 10. Lord Jesus, please give me better. Please,
Double.
I am praying, hoping, wishing, and everything for 10. But we have a tendency or a desire to want to stay in that safe place. But the only way you could ever get back what you lost, the only way you can be redeemed is if you keep on going. You can't stay in the safe place. You have to go. And there are risks. There are challenges. We know that up ahead is the jail space. Up ahead are the chance cards that may send you to somebody's property. Up ahead, there it is. Up ahead, there can be somebody's property that has 2 hotels on it, and then you've already lost almost everything, and now everything is going to be gone. And the risk can be high. But the reward is just as high if you keep on going, because you may land on a property and be able to buy it You may land on one of the community chest cards and win some money. We used to do this thing where every time you the community chest cards or anybody time somebody passed go, we will put additional money under the jail square. So if you landed on the jail square without being in jail, you got that free pot of money.
Wow.
And so my mother and I made up our own rules to this game. We played for days. We would have a game last for days. And so you never know where you're going to land, but the reward can be just as high. And so you keep on going, and then you get back around to go, you get $200 every time you pass go. So if you keep on going and don't give up, there is a reward. And one thing that made me think about life was there's risk, there's rewards. But in the end, we already know the game is fixed. We already know the outcome of our game. So don't give up. Don't stop. Don't pray for the safe space, because you never know what the next move is going to be. And like Pastor said, you only need one more move. And that one right move.
Listen here.
But you got to stay in the game. Mm-hmm. You got to stay in the game. I done got excited myself. You got to stay in the game. I'm trying to tell you. Don't give up. Don't quit. Even when you facing jail, when you facing being bound, when you're facing losing it all, don't give up. Keep on going. And when you do lose it all, you still keep on going. Because in the end, we're going to be redeemed.
You're going to win anyway.
You're going to win anyhow. The game is fixed. Yeah. It's a setup, friend.
Ain't that
Still got one more move. Still got one more move.
Yeah. One more move. My goodness.
Look,
that's good. Oh, that's good.
One move by itself.
One move. Because can change the whole life around.
Whole life.
Absolutely. You can keep hope because you know you got another move. You got another turn coming.
You got another turn coming.
There's another turn coming, so you can keep hope. Even dealing with that, it's just you got to stay positive. There's a positive. It goes to that mindset. This game that teaches you a lot. If you let it, I mean, if you think about it, it teaches you how to manage. If nothing else, to how to manage and how to deal with consequences and with greatness at the same time. So you're dealing with a lot in this game if you let it teach you. And the kids let kids play and I can remember when this will give me a life lesson right here. How to keep going, not to give up. Because you got one more move. You got one more.
Right. And Brother Courtney, like you said, every time when you're in the game, you have to manage your emotions. Because in our emotions, when things get rough, we want to give up. We get down on ourselves. And then, I don't know about y'all, but I be pouting. I be whining to God. Why this happened to me? And why this, and this? But if we keep our mindset right, and I'm going to add one more thing. I'm sorry. I didn't got excited. Come on. The creator of this game, Lizzie. Lizzie created this game. But Lizzie's mindset was to be petty. Lizzie had $1 million idea, but because she was focused on the wrong thing.
Listen.
She didn't see what she had in her hand.
Come on.
That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff.
You sure right.
Somebody else played the game, liked the game, and ran with it. And here we are. Decades later. I have 3 versions of Monopoly in my house. Lizzie was being petty. She had a bad attitude. How many of us let our attitude mess up our destiny?
Come on.
Don't let your emotions ruin you.
That's back to the emotions. Absolutely. Back to the
emotions. Get the best of you.
Oh, that's good. That is good. That is good.
I'm sorry. We talk about emotions again. I got to say this, okay?
Absolutely.
So we partner with somebody else in the game. Normally we have an alliance, right? Mm-hmm. So your unchecked can mess it up for your partner too as well, because you didn't know how to control your emotions. Now I got to get another partner because you're not following the plan. You're not following the strategy. You're messing up a win for you and me. So now your unchecked emotion is causing me to lose. It's causing me to possible not to win. So it's not just costing you your unchecked emotion, it's costing somebody else. So
everybody connected.
Everybody you connected
everybody you connected to.
Your emotions actually, if the greater your emotions, the less your thought process is affected. I mean, the more your thought process is affected.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you're not thinking clearly when you let your emotions overrun and overtake you. So in that time of your emotions running high, you're letting everything, all these feelings and everything else that you probably haven't felt or dealing with, then now that all that surface and you don't know how to deal with it because your thought process is clouded with emotions. So now you have to back up from the table, like you said before, back up a little bit. Hold on, let me breathe for 2 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. Give me 50 feet. Let me breathe for a second. Let me calm down so I can think about what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And then you can kind of think about, oh, okay, this is the move I should have made. This is the process I should have took. But not because I was upset or because anxious or overthinking it. Now I could have made the wrong move. And sometimes the emotions can cause you to make moves without thinking about them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're
Make sure
right.
you're not in your emotions when you're
your
doing a major decision. You have to say to yourself, is this my emotions or is this what God is having me to do? So, yeah.
Now, Minister Nakisha, you mentioned something of, how that could affect, your decisions could affect everybody and losses can take place. But I think too in Monopoly, since you brought that out, uh, Monopoly teaches you that losses are a part of life too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Losses are a part of life, and it's okay to lose because I like to think of it like this. I don't like to call it a loss. This is what Pastor would say, a
Learning.
teachable moment
There you go.
in life lessons learned.
Absolutely.
So I didn't lose. That means I just learned something by my mistake or by this loss where I can take into the next game because there will be a next game. There's different versions of games. So I'm going to take this loss or whatever I've learned, and take it to the next, my next win, my next game, my next step. And so with Monopoly, some people, when people are still playing, they get up and they leave, or some people stay and watch. Me personally, I lost, but I'm going to stay and watch, and I'm going to watch what the people who are still here are doing because obviously they're succeeding. Obviously, you get their strategies, you get what they're doing. You watch and you listen, and Pastor would say you get their blueprint because the blueprint didn't work for you, but maybe they blueprint will work for the blueprint didn't work. Your own blueprint didn't work for you, so maybe I need to watch for a second and see what y'all are doing. My pride. Don't be up in your pride. Okay, I lost, but hey, whatever you doing, you winning. So since you winning, I'm going to watch and I'm going to take it into the next game. I'm going to take it to, the different version of the game and see if that works. So for me, it's not a loss. It's not a loss. Losses is part of life. And that's what's going to happen. You just, like I said, teachable moment, you learn from it, you watch, regroup, you do your strategy again, you try something else, and you just go on with your next. So that's what I'm going to have to say on that.
And if I could just add one quick thing, sometimes the lesson is not always in the win, but in the recover.
Come on, yes.
Come on.
Because I may have lost, but sometimes it's how I recover
It's how
from
you
that
recover.
loss.
Ela.
It's not
what you
always
saying?
in the
Watch
loss,
yourself.
it's in the recovery. Go
It's in the recovery. Come on.
And one of the biggest losses. Some of our losses are, and I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. Some of our losses are things that we don't have control over. A lot of people don't know. In 2018, I lost a child, and that was something that I did not think I could recover from. It damaged me for a long time, but I had a friend who had previously went through the same thing. And what pulled me out was watching how she recovered.
Yeah.
And it was like, if she can do it, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have it in me, but maybe I can. Maybe seeing that would give me some kind of gumption to at least try to
Yeah.
come up out of it. And it's like we don't have to fold in our loss.
Yeah.
You know, we just learn from it. And just because that game is over, that game is over, but you got a chance to play the game again.
Yeah.
Mm.
Always got another chance.
Always got another chance.
I love it. I love it.
Ain't
Oh,
that
that
what,
is good. That is
got
another
so
chance.
good.
I do
Oh,
want to say, just like what she was she's giving a testimony like what you did. I saw this happen to you, so that gave me hope. That told me I can do this. So I feel like we need more of that, of people telling their testimonies, people telling, yeah, I lost, yeah, I didn't win the Monopoly, this is what happened, but this is what I did. It's you said that recovery thing, that's strong. It's like, how did you recover? Because you can recover. So because I see that you recovered and you went through the exact same, no, you actually went the worse than I did and you recovered. So yes, ma'am, it's all about, I have to, it's all up in my spirit, that recovery there. Yes.
The recovery.
yes. That
I
is
can add just
it.
a little something to that too as well.
Yeah.
When you recover, sometimes your loss, you can use that loss. Things we go through, even in life. When you on the game of Monopoly, I'm gonna refer to that first. On the game of Monopoly, there's a where you have a setback. If you hit that one point, there's a setback, and that setback can land you in jail. It can land you somewhere negative. It can land you somewhere you don't know exactly where it's gonna land you. It depends on what that point is. So when we have a setback, sometimes your setback is not always a bad thing. Your setback can be a setup for your come up. And if you don't realize, and if you again, it goes back to those emotions. Check your, like Pastor said Sunday, check your emotions. In your recovery time, and how you, and people are watching you how you recover. People are watching you how you handle things. And so when you're going through life situations, I mean, to this day, I have people still calling me, and I don't know how you made it through. You lost 2 people in less than a week.
Yes.
Time.
Yep.
Went through. I mean, you lost your wife and your father-in-law, and to see how you handle it. I don't know how I've actually handled it. I know it's nothing but the grace of God has actually brought me through all this. But when you think about how you handle things, and you don't know how you did it, but you know because of where you are in Christ, you lean on that. They actually watching you, and so they watch you when you're doing a come up like that. They watching you where you are right now. Look at me now. I'm here. It's like, how did you do that? How did you make it through all that? Because they're watching. Your life it's not about you. Sometimes it's really not about you. It's a testimony to show someone else how to get through what you're going through.
Yeah.
What you went through. So it's a testimony. It's like I said, you can use it for a stepping stone to make it to the next level. It doesn't always have to be a negative thing.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, tonight has been so good to me. It has been so good. Monopoly has a whole new meaning to me. A whole new meaning. This has been great. And then the end thing is that even you might fall out during the game, and you might get mad, you might, emotions may run high and all of that. But at the end of the day, those same people that you played with, that's what matters in the end. That game is going to be over. And so for you to stay mad at somebody, to stay upset with somebody about a game that's over, I mean, it's the same as in this game called life. All that really matters are the people that we touch, the people that we love, the people that God has placed under our care, the people that God has sent to us. That's all that, because the game of life be lifing. Oh my God.
Be like
But in the end, the relationships that we have with God, with others, that's what matters. That's what matters. And I think in some cases we've gotten away from that. We become so individualized, concerned with us, letting things that in the light of eternity that they don't even really matter, but letting those things divide and conquer us. And so just remember, in this game of life, remember what really matters. Remember what really matters. Remember what we've really been called to do. Remember who we've been called to. Remember who we serving and representing in this game called life. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
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 Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
It ain't about people if we ain't doing something right.
say that again.
I said if we're not focused on the people, then we're not doing something right.
Right.
I think
We're not doing
what I say,
something
Right.
Prophetess Fantasia say you got to lose to win again. So sometimes you do have to go through some things
Yeah.
to come up on the other side. But who you bring with you in that victory is what really matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am so happy. I'm so happy that you all came around the family table tonight with me and we got to talk about Monopoly a little bit. And we hope that the life lessons that we got from Monopoly, that we have relayed them to you guys effectively, and that you all might take another look at the game of Monopoly. If you've never played, I invite you. The game is $10 at Walmart. You can get they even have a Wakanda Forever version of Monopoly.
Oh, wow.
It's $17. So yeah, a Wakanda Forever version of Monopoly. Go get it. Play with your families. It's so much fun. But right now, if there's anyone out there in our online audience that needs prayer, or even if you would like to join with the bridge, just drop your name, your request in the comments, and someone will get back with you. We never want to get off the air without offering an opportunity for someone to say yes, to say yes. And so we invite you to do that. And if you'd like to unite with us, and join in our ministry, just leave a comment, or if you prefer to inbox us, we'll be glad to reach out to you. Of course, we'd be glad to add you to the family of the bridge, because we love people at the bridge. We're not the perfect church by no means, but I tell you what, I know it's the perfect church for me. We are growing, we are learning, and we're doing it together. It's no monopoly on anything at the bridge. No monopoly on anything. If you didn't join us, if you came on late, Pastor did ask if we would sow a seed of $11 on tonight. And I want to give you the opportunity to do that. If you did not have the opportunity earlier, we invite you to do that, to sow a seed of $11. Our giving ways are on the screen, and we would love if you would continue. God has been faithful to us in 2022. God has been so faithful to the bridge, and it's all because of your giving, you graciously giving and sowing into the bridge. And for that, we say thank you to our members, to our partners, to our friends. Thank you so much. Your giving has helped us. Our announcements, let's not forget that we will have service on Sunday. Sunday at 10 o'clock a.m. We will have a Christmas party service. So you never know what that might mean at the bridge. So you want to be in the house. And don't forget that it is Ugly Sweater Sunday. Wear your ugliest Christmas sweater that you could find. Wear it Sunday at the bridge. Also, don't forget to join us on our huddle call on Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m., where Pastor shares instructions and vision for the upcoming week. Also, mark your calendars for Saturday, New Year's Eve at 11:30 a.m. Prophet Adrian, it is 11:30 a.m., correct? Pastor is coming on early to address us on New Year's Eve, because he wants you to have time. That gives you 12 hours. If he comes on 11:30, finishes at 12, that gives you 12 hours to get some things straight, to mend some relationships, whatever you need to do. So mark your calendars for 11:30 a.m. on New Year's Eve to join us. It will be virtual. It will be virtual right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Again, thank you all for joining us, and a shout out to all our entrepreneurs that were showcased on Sunday. Shout out to you guys. It was a great Entrepreneur Sunday. And we have some awesome people at our church. I'm telling you, everything that you need is at the bridge. Need a candle? We got it. Need desserts? We got it. Need seafood, egg. Ooh, we got it. Whatever you need administrative services, we got it. Sweet potato pie, we got it. Accounting, we got it. Coaches, we got it. Come, it's at the bridge. It is at the bridge. Now, entrepreneurs, we want to do something. If you have a logo, if you could send me a JPEG of your logo, if you could send it to latanyadcooper@gmail.com, please do that. If you haven't already send it to me. We'd like to do something for you. All right. Thank you all again, Brother Courtney, Elder Nicole, Elder Trent, Lady Minister Eler, Minister Nakisha. Thank you all so much for coming to the table. And I'm going to ask Elder Trent if he will just dismiss us in prayer.
Amen. Kind Father, how we thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment in time. We ask that you be with us. Let this word, let what we've learned today about the game of Monopoly in life, let it stick with us. Help us make wise decisions in our future and know that we only need one more move. And we thank you for this night. We ask that you be with us in all our ways and all things that we do. In your name we pray and thank you. Amen and amen.
Amen. Good night.